Have you ever reached into your kitchen for a simple snack and wondered if that small, harmless habit could actually be putting silent pressure on your kidneys without you realizing it? Most people never ask that question because kidney problems are often thought of as something that only happens later in life or only after someone is already sick. But the truth is far more unsettling. Every single day, your kidneys are working quietly in the background, filtering your blood-removing toxins, balancing minerals, and keeping your entire body stable. And the foods you eat between meals can either support that process or slowly make it harder and harder for those delicate filters to do their job. What makes this even more concerning is that kidney damage rarely begins with pain or obvious warning signs. It develops silently over time, and by the time many people realize something is wrong, a significant amount of kidney function may already be lost. As a physician, I see this more often than most people would expect. I'm Dr. Mark Ellis, and one of the things I constantly remind my patients is that the small choices we repeat every day, especially the snacks we barely think about, can either protect our kidneys or slowly overload them with excess sodium, sugar, and hidden additives that force them to work far beyond what they were designed to handle. But here's the encouraging part, and the reason this conversation matters so much today. Protecting your kidneys doesn't require extreme diets, expensive supplements, or complicated health routines. In many cases, the most powerful changes begin with something surprisingly simple: choosing better snacks that help your body flush toxins more efficiently and reduce the silent stress placed on your kidneys. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through 4 snacks that may look ordinary on the surface, but can make a remarkable difference inside your body when chosen the right way. One of them is often completely overlooked, and another might already be sitting in your kitchen right now. Let's begin with something most people completely underestimate: air-popped popcorn. When people hear the word popcorn, they usually picture movie theaters, butter, and salty junk food. But when you remove the heavy butter artificial flavorings and excess salt, plain air-popped popcorn becomes something very different. It becomes a simple whole grain snack that quietly supports one of the most important systems in your body, the filtration network inside your kidneys. Your kidneys are constantly filtering waste from your blood minute after minute, hour after hour. But when cholesterol levels rise, blood sugar spikes repeatedly, or inflammation builds inside your blood vessels, those delicate kidney filters begin to suffer. Over time, the tiny vessels that feed your kidneys can stiffen or narrow, making it harder for your body to remove toxins efficiently. And this is exactly where fiber begins to play a powerful role. Air-popped popcorn is naturally rich in dietary fiber, and fiber does far more than support digestion. According to research frequently highlighted in major American nutrition journals, increasing daily fiber intake can help lower LDL cholesterol, stabilize blood sugar levels, and improve overall circulation. When cholesterol levels improve, blood vessels throughout the body remain more flexible, including the microscopic vessels inside the kidneys that make proper filtration possible. Better circulation means better filtration, and better filtration means toxins are removed from the body more efficiently. I remember speaking with a patient named Daniel, a man in his early 60s, who thought he was eating relatively healthy snacks every day. But most of his snacks were processed chips loaded with sodium and hidden additives. When we replaced those snacks with simple options like air-popped popcorn, something interesting happened over the next few months. His cholesterol improved, his blood pressure stabilized, and his doctor noticed subtle improvements in markers related to kidney stress. It wasn't a miracle food, it was simply a smarter choice repeated consistently. Another important benefit is something most people never notice. Plain popcorn contains no phosphate additives, which are commonly found in many packaged snack foods. These additives are often used to extend shelf life, but they can accumulate in the bloodstream and create additional strain on the kidneys, especially as kidney function begins to decline with age. Preparation, however, makes all the difference. The healthiest portion is about 3 cups of plain air-popped popcorn made from simple kernels without oil. Instead of salt, you can add garlic powder, smoked paprika, black pepper, or nutritional yeast for flavor. Suddenly, what once seemed like a guilty pleasure becomes a strategic snack that supports circulation, reduces cholesterol strain, and gives your kidneys a lighter workload. But knowing about fiber alone isn't enough, because another factor quietly affects how hard your kidneys must work every single day. And the next snack reveals exactly what that factor is. Now let's talk about the second snack, hummus, a simple food that many people see only as a dip, but in reality it can play a surprisingly powerful role in reducing the daily workload placed on your kidneys. What makes hummus so valuable is the combination of ingredients working together: chickpeas, olive oil, and natural plant fiber. Each of these supports your body in ways that directly affect how efficiently your kidneys can filter waste from your blood. Your kidneys are incredibly sensitive to three silent stressors: unstable blood sugar, high blood pressure, and excess animal protein. When someone eats large amounts of red meat or processed meats every day, the body produces more metabolic waste during protein breakdown. That waste has to be filtered out by the kidneys, which means the filtration units inside them must work harder and harder over time. But plant-based protein behaves differently in the body. Chickpeas, the main ingredient in hummus, provide protein that is generally easier for the kidneys to process while also delivering a powerful dose of fiber. And fiber does more than support digestion. According to nutrition research frequently discussed in American health journals, diets rich in plant fiber can help reduce LDL cholesterol and improve blood vessel flexibility. This is important because your kidneys depend on an intricate network of tiny blood vessels to do their job. When cholesterol builds up, those vessels narrow and circulation slows down. When circulation slows down, filtration becomes less efficient and toxins can linger longer in the bloodstream. I remember one patient, a retired school teacher in her late 50s, who told me she constantly felt tired despite trying to eat healthy. Most of her snacks were actually high-sodium crackers and deli meats. When she replaced those with a simple snack of hummus and fresh vegetables, cucumber, celery, and bell peppers, something subtle but important changed. Within a few months, her blood pressure readings improved, her energy stabilized, and her doctor noticed better overall metabolic markers. Again, it wasn't a miracle cure. It was simply a shift toward foods that supported the body instead of stressing it. Another powerful component in hummus is olive oil, which provides monounsaturated fats known to support heart and blood vessel health. Since high blood pressure is one of the leading drivers of kidney damage, anything that helps stabilize circulation can indirectly protect kidney filtration over time. But balance still matters. The ideal portion is about 2 tablespoons per snack, enough to provide benefits without overloading calories or potassium. Pairing hummus with fresh vegetables instead of salty chips is also a strategic move. You increase fiber intake, reduce sodium, and create a snack that helps stabilize blood sugar instead of triggering spikes. When hydration is added, even a simple glass of water alongside the snack, the body's natural detox pathways become even more efficient. But even though plant protein can reduce stress on the kidneys, there's another factor many people overlook that quietly affects kidney health every single day. And the next snack on this list reveals something that surprises almost everyone when they hear it for the first time, because sometimes the food people fear most can actually help their kidneys more than they expect. Now here's the snack that surprises almost everyone when they hear it: oatmeal cookies. Most people assume that if you're trying to protect your kidneys, cookies should be the first thing to disappear from your diet. And to be fair, many desserts really do create problems. Ultra-processed pastries loaded with refined sugar and white flour can spike blood sugar, increase inflammation, and slowly damage the tiny blood vessels that feed your kidney filters. But oatmeal cookies are different when they're made the right way, because the key ingredient, oats, contains one of the most powerful fibers for metabolic health. Oats are rich in a special soluble fiber called beta-glucan, and this compound has been studied extensively in nutrition research across the United States. Beta-glucan helps lower LDL cholesterol, stabilize blood sugar levels, and support healthier circulation throughout the body. And while many people associate cholesterol only with heart health, the kidneys rely just as heavily on healthy blood flow. Inside each kidney are millions of microscopic filtration units called nephrons, and they depend on a steady supply of oxygen-rich blood to remove toxins efficiently. When cholesterol builds up and blood vessels stiffen, those filters struggle to work properly. Over time, waste products can begin to accumulate in the bloodstream. I once spoke with a patient named Linda, a grandmother in her early 60s, who had spent years avoiding anything sweet because she believed every dessert was harmful. But the real issue wasn't sweetness, it was the type of ingredients. After switching from processed pastries to a small homemade oatmeal cookie made with rolled oats, minimal sugar, and healthy oil, she noticed something interesting. Her afternoon energy crashes began to disappear. Her blood sugar readings became steadier. And during her next medical checkup, her cholesterol numbers had improved slightly, not dramatically, but enough for her doctor to point out that small changes were clearly working. Science supports this pattern. Studies have shown that soluble fiber like beta-glucan can help reduce LDL cholesterol by improving how the body processes fats and slows the absorption of glucose into the bloodstream. Slower digestion means fewer blood sugar spikes, and fewer spikes mean less stress on both blood vessels and kidney tissue. That's why oatmeal-based snacks often produce a steadier release of energy compared with desserts made from refined flour. Of course, the details still matter. The goal is one small cookie, not a plate full of them. Look for versions made with simple ingredients, rolled oats, moderate sweetness, and minimal sodium. Avoid heavily frosted versions or those packed with preservatives and phosphate additives. Pairing an oatmeal cookie with unsweetened tea or water also helps support hydration, allowing the kidneys to flush metabolic waste more effectively, while fiber works quietly in the background. What makes this snack powerful is not indulgence, it's balance. Choosing the right ingredients transforms something that once looked like a guilty pleasure into a small tool that supports cholesterol control, steadier blood sugar, and healthier circulation to the kidneys. But knowing which foods support circulation still isn't the whole story, because there's another hidden factor that determines how hard your kidneys must work every single day. And the final snack on this list addresses that factor in a surprisingly simple way. And finally, let's talk about the fourth snack, one that looks almost too simple to matter, yet it plays a surprisingly important role in protecting your kidneys from daily stress. Plain rice cakes may not sound exciting, but sometimes the most powerful foods for kidney health are the ones that place the least burden on the body. When it comes to kidney protection, the goal isn't always adding more nutrients. Sometimes it's reducing the overload. Your kidneys must filter every single day. Your kidneys regulate fluid balance and filter excess minerals such as sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. When these minerals build up in the bloodstream, especially from heavily processed foods, the kidneys must work harder to maintain balance. Over time, this constant overload can strain the delicate filtration system inside the kidneys. That's why foods naturally low in these minerals can quietly support kidney health. Plain rice cakes, especially the unflavored versions made from puffed brown or white rice, are naturally low in sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. This makes them a gentle snack option that doesn't force the kidneys to work overtime. Unlike many packaged snack foods in American grocery stores, chips, crackers, and flavored snacks, plain rice cakes usually contain very few ingredients and avoid the hidden phosphate additives that often appear in processed foods. I remember speaking with a man named Robert, a retired engineer who had struggled for years with borderline kidney markers. He told me that most of his afternoon snacks were salty crackers or processed chips simply because they were convenient. When he switched to something simpler, plain rice cakes topped with a small amount of natural peanut butter or fresh berries, he was surprised by how easy the change felt. Within a few months, his sodium intake dropped significantly, his blood pressure readings improved, and his doctor noticed that his kidney-related lab markers had stabilized. It wasn't a dramatic transformation, but it was exactly the kind of steady improvement doctors hope to see. Another advantage of rice cakes is flexibility. Think of them as a clean foundation for a smarter snack. A thin layer of hummus adds plant protein and fiber. A small amount of natural nut butter provides healthy fats. Fresh berries contribute antioxidants that support blood vessel health. This simple combination supports steady blood sugar, healthier circulation, and a lighter metabolic workload for the kidneys. But there's one important rule. Always choose the plain version. Flavored varieties like barbecue cheese or caramel often contain added sodium sugars and artificial flavor enhancers that remove many of the benefits. When the ingredient list stays short and simple, rice cakes become exactly what your kidneys prefer: light, balanced, and easy to process. Still, understanding which snacks support your kidneys is only part of the picture. Because protecting these vital organs isn't about a single food choice. It's about the small habits we repeat every day, often without thinking. And that's where the real difference begins to appear. Before we finish, I want you to remember something important. Your kidneys are incredibly resilient organs. Every single minute of every single day, they are working quietly in the background, filtering your blood, removing toxins, balancing fluids, and keeping your entire body stable. And most of the time, they do this without asking for attention. But like any system that works this hard, they depend on the choices we make every day. The snacks we reach for between meals, the amount of salt and processed food we consume, and even how often we stay hydrated can slowly shape the future health of our kidneys. The good news is that protecting your kidneys doesn't require perfection. It starts with small, consistent habits. Choosing simple foods like air-popped popcorn, hummus oatmeal, snacks made with real ingredients, or plain rice cakes instead of heavily processed snacks can reduce the hidden pressure on your kidney filters. Pair those choices with proper hydration-balanced portions and a diet rich in whole foods, and you are giving your kidneys the support they need to keep doing their job for years to come. And if you found this information helpful, I encourage you to save this video so you can come back to it whenever you need a reminder about the small habits that protect your kidney health. Also consider subscribing to the channel, because here we regularly share simple research-based tips that help you understand how your body works and how to take better care of it, especially when it comes to protecting your kidneys naturally. Most importantly, remember this: it's never too early and never too late to start caring for your kidneys. Even small changes made today can create meaningful improvements in your health tomorrow. Take care of your body, stay informed, and keep learning, because the more you understand about your health, the more power you have to protect it.